Hi, it's Romy. Welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for taking the time to tune in, Leo. This is your May 2020 reading. So if you have a sun rising or your moon in Leo, this is a general reading, but it might resonate for you. If you're enjoying my work, please go ahead and support me by dropping me a like and a comment and making sure you're subscribed to the channel. And you can also find the link for the extended reading in the description box below, and further links to how to connect with me over on my website and other social media platforms. Okay, Leo, let's go ahead and see what's coming up in May for you. Okay, Leo family, it is May. Let's see what energies are coming through for you. We also have retrograde season, 4 planets taking a back spin, Pluto from the 25th of April, followed by Saturn, Venus, and then Jupiter. So it is going to be time to review and I think perhaps realize just how far you've come with some of the soul work that you've been tending to these last few weeks and months. We open up the reading with the card of strength, which of course does link into your sign, Leo. So we find you standing strong. We have you in this unique set of circumstances having built some resiliency and perhaps starting to feel a little bit more grounded, looking to your surroundings and realizing where you need to dig deep to be able to support yourself and others at the moment. It's a quiet strength, you know. There is a sort of muting, I think, slightly of your energy as we move into the beginning of May. And again, with all these planets retrograde, a lot of internal reflection. But I see you standing really strong. I feel like you're coming to some really wonderful new realizations within yourself about actually how far you have traveled in terms of the growth that's taken place, and you know, really just maybe giving you a little bit of a breathing space right now to stop and to give yourself some praise and acknowledgement for that, Leo. It's so important that you know, we're not always striving forward on the path, trying to get to the next level, focusing on what we need to do to continue that expansion. Sometimes we just need to stop and really have that time for review. And in that, I feel like what you're really recognizing is actually where you have been not just shown up for yourself, but been able to bring to the table like an enormous amount of compassion toward yourself, an enormous amount of respect for what you've been through. And in that knowing, in that place of kind of real illumination, we're starting to see you building some powerful new emotional tools that I think are going to be so critical moving forward, because they're really starting to bring in a new foundation of peace for you, of inner peace. And I really love the energy of that coming in. Now on the 7th of May, we've got a full moon in the sign of Scorpio, water sign, which activates your 4th house of house and home, but also that internal emotional landscape. So it is a very compassionate moon. It's got a beautiful aspect with Neptune. And I think that what's happening is that you're being afforded the opportunity to almost test where you can maintain that peace, you know, where you can find the empathy, where you can find the strength to be able to support yourself and others in spite of these incredibly changing circumstances. And you know, regardless of the ups and downs, regardless of the way that the wheel is turning, you know, for many of you, you may be finding yourselves actually in a place that serves you more positively at the moment. For others, things really could have been turned upside down. But regardless, what we're seeing is that each and every one of you have, you know, been gifted with a path that's really helping you to reveal and unearth something within yourself that's really going to be so important in the coming weeks and months to help you adapt and to help you realize that not only do you have what it takes to be able to survive, but you can move back into this place of peace at any given moment. So the Wheel of Fortune does bring in some positive energy, I feel, but it's also the way with which you decide to look at that. You know, we each have our free will to recognize the way that our mindset is being directed, the way our energy is being directed at the moment. And yes, sometimes it can take a little bit more focus and a little bit more control to be able to have to focus towards the things that are working well and that are still coming in on a very positive energy. So the Tower enters because, well, frankly, we are completely rebuilding something in your life right now, Leo. And, you know, perhaps this chaotic external environment with which you find yourself in just now did take the wind out of your sails, or really kind of knocked you out of alignment. But as we bring that energy of strength through, whatever this is relating to, you're building a more solid foundation. Remember, the Tower, you know, is torn down so that we can put something sustainable forward. You know, we're in Taurus energy now. We're in your 10th house, thinking about the long term. We just had Earth Day and the new moon as I film this, which is all about how do we make positive, sustainable growth and change for the future, not just for our generation, but for all of the generations to come. So there are things that fundamentally have to change. And remember, that starts with each and every one of us. So I think you are in also a period of assessment, Leo, about your own journey, recognizing how far you've come, but also perhaps where there's more work to do, recognizing what is it that I need to now adapt and to work on to be able to put myself in the best possible position moving forward. So for those of you with a real focus in and around what's happening in your work and your professional career, you may have had some significant changes or feeling like things have been pulled from under you. Again, what we're seeing with that energy of that inner peace coming through, pervading really strongly for me in your reading today, Leo. I know that not only are you going to find a sense of recovery, but what comes next and what you build may well be a complete blessing for you, okay? From a relationship perspective, perhaps you're dealing with some really inconsistent behaviors right now, inconsistent emotional energies that are coming forward, or perhaps that's you right now. Of course, the Tower does denote there may well be some arguments or some real tension, and linked into the sign of Scorpio under that full moon, it could feel quite intense in and around the home environment. But remember, it is a very compassionate energy coming through, so you are being invited to look to the way that you are responding and to step up and decide to take a different approach. You know, the Three of Wands is showing you that you have come full circle on something. You will be revisiting something in May that's going to show you that now you have more confidence, you have more belief in yourself, you have more belief in your path forward. And so if you do find yourself back in a conversation, a narrative, a storyline, or feeling like somehow it was one step forward and 10 steps back, that isn't the case. We're now looking to the horizon. We're needing to find that positivity. We're needing to look for the potential. We're needing to recognize that all of the results, all of the effort, all of the hard work that we've already put in to different areas of our life, but most importantly within ourselves, has actually allowed us to step forward into an energy that now feels more empowered. So that energy is available to you this month of May, Leo, and I would invite you to tap into the essence of that if you feel the chaos of that Tower energy is trying to destabilize you as you move forward. Now, we have Venus in the sign of Gemini, and on the 13th it's moving retrograde right through till the 25th of June, and in fact Venus is staying in Gemini all the way to the 7th of August. So in and around relationships, and as we go through that retrograde, we are revisiting themes back to 2012. So what was on your path at that time, Leo? How have you changed? How might things be showing up again that perhaps are inviting you to tend again to the soul, to be nurturing, to be quiet, to be contemplative? Do you want to re-engage with people or connections or situations that are coming back around? if they are not presenting a healthier platform or a healthier energy. You know, the Five of Swords here is suggesting that you might find yourself dipping your toe back into something that perhaps didn't feel so good in the past. And really, I want you to see it as an invitation again to recognize how far you've come, all right? If there is that real overwhelming feeling of disappointment or loss, or kind of just that kind of dejected energy around you just now for, you know, one or more reasons in terms of what you're living through at the moment, which is perfectly understandable. Remember, again, I'm going to bring in that strength card energy for you, and also the courage and the self-belief of that Three of Wands, because combined they're making a really powerful partnership and reminding you that this is temporary. You know, that Five is a moment of contrast that actually invites you to embrace the challenge of it, knowing that what's going to come out of it for you is going to be really rich in opportunity and possibility to change and to evolve. So Five of Wands, it certainly feels to me like there are some arguments or some kind of conflict that's taking place through this month of May. For some of you, this really could be on the internal landscape, you know, what you're going through emotionally with your own well-being. And if that is the case, just make sure you are prioritizing, you know, your own well-being and doing whatever it takes to bring in that sense of inner peace, which is available to you. If this is happening from those around you, or, you know, important people in your life that you are connected with at the moment, I see that you're not really in a place where you can tolerate too much of the petty stuff, okay? So, you know, I do have you looking towards your future, looking towards the horizon, wanting to really focus on the positive nature of what comes next. And even if you have been the one to let somebody down, or if you have felt let down, there's a sense that there's no point in kind of going over and over and over the details. I just feel that, you know, there's going to come a point through May where you need to draw a line and recognize that actually there may be some opportunity for you to kind of strive forward and really seek more of an independent thought form around this. Not necessarily to say that you're striking out on your own or that you need to be on your own, but the Nine is suggesting that there's a lot to be positive about. There's a lot to look forward to. There's a lot of accomplishment that's already taken place. So whoever wants to bring the drama to your door, or to kind of start to take you backwards, you know, remember with all these planets retrograde, what you might be finding is that there are people showing up, or conversations that are taking place that are trying to go back over and over and over. It's just not going to be that healthy for you. And I think you are going to have to stand really strong. And, you know, in each of the kind of the poises that we have in these three cards, I feel that you're doing that. So let these people, whoever they are represented in your world, kind of figure it out or fight it out on their own terms. Don't waste your energy is what I want to say. There are opportunities coming in. That wheel is suggesting that your focus is needed elsewhere at the moment. Recognizing that change is taking place. We have to be able to adapt and move quickly with things. King of Wands energy coming in. I really love this fire energy for you. Of course, it could be another fire sign, a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius, but I think this is also about your creative vision. For those of you looking in and around work and business, you are starting to feel much more optimistic as we come toward the end of the month. As we move into Gemini season from the 21st into your 11th house of community, of technology, of groups, I feel like there's some really good inspiration that's coming in. But the note about this is that you can't hold on to the energy of that Five, okay? If you get too kind of bogged down with that heaviness or that sort of defeat, then you're not giving proper acknowledgement to how much you still have, to all of the things that are still available to you at the moment to work with, okay? And that's rich and fertile through this Taurus season. So don't miss out on the opportunity for that. if this is from a relationship perspective, I see you standing strong and being okay with it. So if this is representative of somebody else and perhaps there has been some challenge or argument around that, and situations have happened suddenly and quickly, of course, with what's unfolding around us at the moment, but I think there's a lot more to come through the course of this month. So there's quite active conversations I feel taking place, that may well require you to step up and be quite strong in your thinking. Okay, we also have Queen of Wands, a lot of fire energy coming through for you today, which is really beautiful, Leo. Again, it feels to me that this is you being reminded of the fact that you still get to decide what the future looks like for you. You're not at the mercy of this situation for the rest of your days now. Remember, Leo, that this is a moment in time. The wheel is going to turn again, and where are you going to direct your energy? Have you utilized this period for helping yourself at a soul level to figure out perhaps the energies or the things that drain you are no longer working for you? You know, giving the chance to have that reset during retrograde season and really understand perhaps some of the adjustments and the changes that you want to start to make. I do feel that from a business perspective, there's something that may well be discussed or spoken about for some of you, Leo, toward the end of this month. I think that the opportunity is interesting. I want you to really believe in yourself with regards to this. Okay, there's something about don't be put in a position where somebody else thinks they know what is best for you. I'm kind of being led to say, like, you can step up and be the one that's directing and leading this conversation much more than you may think at this moment in time. So if you have any kind of temporary feeling of uncertainty or doubt within your own abilities because of perhaps what's happened on the external, don't let that really penetrate into that deeper core sense of belief and knowing about what your potential, what you're capable of, and what the future could look like for you. All right, because I feel that there are a lot of interesting things that are coming up, but you need to be poised and ready to be right at the forefront of that to make sure you can take full advantage. I think from a relationship, from a family perspective, I definitely see some quarrels and some challenging energies happening in and around the home. And perhaps, you know, you feeling a little bit frustrated at times, Leo. Maybe you're not being heard or listened to in a way that you know what you have to say is about trying to keep the peace or trying to bring in a bit more balance. But remember that sometimes we need to clear the air. You know, sometimes after the storm and after the argument, there is that kind of settling energy and that peace energy that can come in. So perhaps there's something that kind of needs to come up and be spoken or expressed. And even if that is a little bit powerful and explosive, I do feel that it's going to bring about the opportunity to then come together in a little bit more of a humble, kind of like open-hearted energy. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just pull us a couple of oracle cards, see how they are reflecting in with your reading. A couple of fives in your reading today do suggest that this contrast is really going to serve you, as I see you kind of stepping up in some way. So it's almost just like you're going to have a moment through this month of May where you're just almost like, okay, enough is enough. Like, you know, if I felt like I haven't been motivated, or if I felt that I've been overly restricted, I'm taking control of that and finding my sense of freedom within my mindset, because that's where it starts, within my energy, and then I'm going to direct that towards something really positive for me. Okay, so your oracle card is the Gathering, community, kinship, companionship. I mean, we are working into 11th house when we move into Gemini, that Gemini new moon happening on the 22nd. Beautiful connection of souls here coming together within this temple and receiving guidance from, you know, from source energy, from the higher self. So I think it is very much about you needing to trust in your own inner light at the moment, and then seeking out the souls and resonating with people that are vibrating on a similar energy. I think there's something that's going to be incredibly nurturing about that for you, particularly if you are finding some inner conflict or kind of around about you, your situation or circumstances feel like it's really destabilized. So there's support available to you. And I do feel that you'll be reaching out and connecting with some new people through this month of May. And there's actually something that's poised to be quite beautiful about that. I think some of the kinship that steps forward is really going to open out in some beautiful opportunities for new initiatives, projects, and some things that you may well be discussing and talking about on the horizon to do with work. I think you're also really aware of the fact that there's a lot of healing taking place right now for you. And okay, so we have the animal card of loyalty, the red crowned crane. Yeah, there's a lot of healing taking place, and I think probably a reevaluation that's deeper than perhaps you had initially thought about your own journey, your life, like really looking back at some of the people that have come and gone, and perhaps with this key theme of loyalty, you know, really sort of looking around and saying, well, who's here now, you know, who's been a part of my world, or who do I want to reconnect with? That retrograde time giving you the chance to perhaps, you know, come back to a situation with a new awareness, maybe some more forgiveness or tolerance, or a deeper understanding even about what you learned in that situation, and how, you know, life is too short, and perhaps you want to reconnect or to establish that beautiful full moon, illuminating your own intuitive understanding, bringing something to light that perhaps wasn't available to you up to this exact point. So understanding that this month you are in exactly the place that you need to be. So don't fight that. Don't fight that. That wheel that's coming in right at the center of your reading is going to clear out any kind of an energy that's not meant to be a part of your path moving forward, Leo. And you need to trust that. You know, there are beautiful kind of light orbs actually that are coming through with this, and you know, the crane is very decisive in the direction with which it's flowing right now, and it's almost asking you to just surrender, because it's moving you toward a place where you are going to be more embraced, you're going to be respected, you're going to be appreciated. So perhaps for some of you there are going to be some changes in and around the people that you want to be around, or who are going to be part of the path moving forward. But there's also a lot of rich creative energy coming into your reading here. And of course in Taurus season we can take that lovely nurturing earth creativity, and that's so much a part of the essence of who you are as well, Leo. So I think if you open yourself up to some of the inspiration, you might find something really coming in out of the blue that's going to feel quite exciting for you to take hold and run with. Okay, but just remember, you're not selling yourself short here. If someone comes to you with something, I really want you to see your value in it. Don't be kind of lessened in any way, all right? Not that I feel necessarily anyone would do that on purpose. I just kind of feel like this is a chance for you to step up and show what you have to offer and how much value you have to give in this situation. And maybe it'll also make you realize that actually you're ready to step out on your own, or to set something up based on your experience and the challenge and what you've been through in your life experience, and now you are perfectly poised to be able to share that in a really warm, nurturing, compassionate energy. Okay, so I hope this has given you some insight for the month of May, Leo. Please do make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any further notifications, and if you enjoy, please do drop me a like and a comment. It helps to support my work. I'm going to go ahead and pull us some clarifying cards for the extended reading. If you want to join me for that, we'll talk another 20 minutes or so and deliver some additional messages to see what else comes out. Before I do that, I'm just going to ask you to think about a question that I may not have answered in this general reading, and I'm going to pull a couple of cards specifically on your question that we will go into more detail in the extended. So just focus on that energy now. Okay, Right, so let's clarify this 9 card block. So the Strength card, bringing through the Chariot. I've got all my golden cards for you today. The Devil and the Tower wanted to come out again there as well. Okay. Could be a Capricorn energy or even a Scorpio as well, with that Tower coming up a couple of times. Certainly there's a situation that's asking you to be really strong. There is some change coming up. 4 of Swords with that Wheel. You've got another 3 of Wands here coming in with that Tower. So even though you might find yourself in a set of circumstances which feel chaotic and turbulent, you're being invited to keep your focus toward the future and what's coming on the horizon, okay? 4 of Wands, beautiful. Things are going to start to flow. Things are going to start to feel much more balanced and come together for you way more quickly than what you might be expecting. So 5 of Swords bringing in the 2 of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Maybe this Queen is somebody who has let you down or you feel really conflicted or uncertain about. Remember, the Queen could be representative of a male or female energy. Okay, the Wheel coming in with that 5 of Wands again, and 3 of Swords. 9 of Pentacles bringing in the King of Wands again. Okay, interesting. Okay, 6 of Cups wanted to come out there. Ace of Cups, Page of Cups, 9 of Cups. Okay, lots of emotional energy connected to that King of Wands, Leo. And then the Queen here bringing in 9 of Swords. I think honestly a lot of the kind of more anxious energy that might be around you just now, you know, you tend to be absorbing from an awful lot of other people, I feel. Okay, we've also got the Knight of Pentacles. Let's just pull a couple more for these oracle cards. Judgment, and finally 7 of Cups and the 6 of Coins, and the 9 wanted to come out, so I'm just going to pull them. You've got quite a few cards come out today, Leo. Okay, if you'd like to join me for the extended, we're going to go into a bit more detail with some of these cards, and otherwise I wish you bright blessings for this month of May. I hope you stay safe and stay strong and keep very focused towards the future, but in recognition of how far you've come and how much endurance and resilience has been unearthed within you through this time. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. If you want to join me for the extended, the link is in the description box below, and I'll talk to you real soon. Take care, Leo. Bye for now.